by the perfectest report, they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned and desired to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. While I stood rapt in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Vane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on the time with Hail King, that shall be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing, by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, it shall be what thou art promised. Yet I do fear thy nature, 'tis too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, are not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, thou wouldst holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'st have, great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do, if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do, than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid seem to have thee crowned withal. What is thy tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who wert so would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make of his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits who tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here. Come fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, so that no compunctious visitings of nature shall impede my fell purpose, nor come between and make peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall, murdering ministers wherever in your sightless substances you wait upon human mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the darkest smoke of hell, so my keen knife not see the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark, to cry, hold, hold. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both why they all hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me from this ignorant present, and I feel the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes tonight.
And one goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Never shall sun that morrow see. Thy face, my Thane, is like a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and he shall put this night's great dispatch into my hands, to which all of our nights and days to come will give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
Speak further. If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could tremble up the consequence and catch, with his surcease success, but this blow might be the be-all and end-all here. But upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here. That we but teach bloody instructions, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. Even-handed justice commands that the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, has been so clear in his great office, that the virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. And pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur which to prick the sides of my intent, but only my vaulting ambition which overleaps itself and falls on the other.
How now? What news?
He's almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you're not. He has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honoured me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would now be worn in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes now to look so green and pale as what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valour as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which deemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the cat in the adage?
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man, and now you would be so much more than man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and you would make them both. Now they make themselves, and their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis the love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, plucked my nipple from its boneless gums, and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you to this.
If we should fail.
We fail? But screw your courage to the sticking place. It will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto therefore his long day's journey shall soundly invite him, his two chamberlains, will I with wine wassail so convinced that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be as a fume, and the receipt of reason at Limbeck only. When in swinish sleep his two officers do lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? Or can we not put upon his spongy officers, who will bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted mettle will compose nothing but males. Will it not be received, when we marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamours roar upon his death?
I have settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with the fairest show. The false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night?
The moon's down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take it 'tis later.
Who's there?
A friend!
All's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in words upon this business if you would grant the time.
Oh, at your kindest leisure.
If you cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Is this a dagger I see before me? Handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to sight as to feeling? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, false creation proceeding from the heat oppressive brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which I now draw. Thou marshalst me in the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes made the fools over the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. 'Tis the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. And now over the one-half world nature seems dead. Wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Now witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings. Withered murder, allottumed by his sentinel, the wolf whose howls his watch. Thus, with his steady pace and Tarquin's ravishing strides, towards his design moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm-set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk, for fear that thy very stones will prate of my whereabouts. Take the horror from the present time, which now suits with it. Whiles I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deed, too cold breath gives. I go and it is done. The bell invites you. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons you to heaven or to hell.
What has made them drunk has made me bold. What has quenched them has given me fire. Hark. Peace, it was the owl that shrieked. That fatal bellman who gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I had drugged their posets so that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked and 'tis not done. This is the attempt, not the deed, that confounds us. Hark, I laid the Daggers ready. You could not miss him. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I'd have done it. My husband,
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl shriek and the crickets cry. Did this not speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
Aye.
Hark. Who lies in the second chamber?
Malcolm.
This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in sleep, and one cried murder that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they said their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
Shh, there are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and Amen, the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening, their fear, I could not say Amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce Amen? I had most need of blessing, and Amen stuck in my throat.
These things were not thought after these ways, so it'll make us mad.
I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care. The death of each day's life. Sore labor's bath. Balm of hurt minds. Great nature's second course. And chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more, to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Carter shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. It is the face of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I will gild the groom's face withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me, when every noise appalls me? What hands are these? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is, then. Your constancy hath left you unattended. I hear more knocking. Go get on the nightgown, lest occasion show us to be watchers. Look not so poorly in your thoughts.
To know thy deed, twere best not to know myself. Wake Duncan with thou knocking, I would thou couldst.
Yes, Your Majesty. We will pick you up tonight for the party, and we will be on duty as well. Okay, you're welcome. Goodbye. Great. Just great. Now my buddy and I have to stay up all night while the king can drink and party at Macbeth's place. Of all the places in the world, did it had to be that place? I mean, it gives me the creeps. Especially Lady Macbeth. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a beautiful woman. But there's something sinister about her. I don't know. Maybe it's all in my head. I don't know. But if you want to see more of the party tonight, go to YouTube, subscribe, like and share, and hit the bell for notifications. So that way, we will notify you every time we upload a new video. Also, if you can, support us. Go to www.patreon.com/CafeGirlProductions. We really appreciate it. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta pick up the king. You all have a good night, and hopefully this party will be a night that we all never forget. See you later.